There was another story here from foreignamerican.com. This Prime Bike business, Rodney, this was a strange one. As you said about that Prime Bike, Amazon says, not us. Now, this company, Echelon, posted for sale what they called a Prime Bike in an attempt to take on Peloton, and pricing severely undercutting the price for just $500. There was a flurry of stories, Rodney, in the media just a couple days ago of this. Is this the new Peloton killer? And then Amazon decided to just kill the potential killer. What is going on with the situation, Rodney?
So Echelon announced the Prime Bike, and Prime, of course, being an adjective that's used at Amazon for Prime Video, Prime Shopping, Prime whatever. And so Echelon said that here's the Prime Bike at $499, and in their press release, they said that they developed it in collaboration with Amazon, which of course led to all of this where Amazon is getting into the exercise equipment business. And so the next day, Amazon said, no, not us. We have nothing to do with it. They not only forced Echelon to remove the press release from their website, they also removed the Echelon bike from the Amazon website. Gone. And so this is, you don't anger the giant. That's a really bad idea. And so I don't know who at Echelon had this miscommunication going on or thought they were just going to slip one by the largest, e-commerce site on the planet. But it was really bad choice.
Speaking of angering the giant, I'm a Prime member. I don't know if you are or not, but I found myself buying so much. I don't want to say how many thousands of dollars I spend on Amazon every year. But one of the benefits is of course free returns. And I do in the back. I've heard Amazon sometimes will kill your buying account. And I sometimes I do wonder when I'm returning it, like, will this be the return that they're like, okay, dude, you got to stop sending us stuff back because I do buy and I return a fair amount of things too. In my mind, I figure I spend enough, so that's okay. But yeah, you don't want to tick off Amazon.
Well, actually, so it's worse than that. So Amazon will of course kill your Prime account if you're returning too many items. But there's a company, and I can't remember their name. I wish I could. That actually tracks your spending as a consumer at Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, you name it. And so they track how you buy and how you return items. And if you return too many items, and they just track it. Let's go there. And then you get essentially a score. And so when you go to return an item at Home Depot, they do see your return score as a consumer. And they make a choice as to whether or not they're going to take back items from you. Now, they can't do anything about you bringing back an item within their stated, days, right? If they say they'll take back an item within 30 days, then by golly, they're going to take it back because then they're breaking the law. It's fraud. But most retailers have leeway in returns. And if you bring it back at Home Depot within, 60, 90, 80 days, whatever, they just take it back. But if you have one of these low scores, then no, they do not. And so we have a social credit system going on in the United States that we just don't talk about very much because it's not obvious to the average consumer because it's not something we ever see. But it's out there. I mean, I'm not making this up. It's not a conspiracy. This is a real thing where a company sells this data to the individual retailers so that they essentially know the customers they want to make happy. If you're returning all the time and then, you go 10 days after the return date and say you want to send it back, they're like, no thanks, because you do this. But if somebody doesn't return all the time and they want to bring it back 60 days later, that's the customer. Home Depot's like, we want to make you happy, so we will extend this courtesy to you. And so that's what it allows them to do.
Yeah, well, you want to stop abuse. But so what happened here, Ronnie? At some point along the way when I when I started my Amazon account or something, or if shopping somewhere along the way, somebody sent me a terms of use of whatever my debit card is, as we're going to sell your information. When did I don't remember approving of this.
You were told that one of the privileges you get of being a card member is that they will share your data with essentially anyone they feel like. And your choice is do not use a credit card in the United States of America. That is your choice. And so if you're good with that, then you go right ahead. But to say that you have a choice is, of course, meaningless. You don't.
Of course not.
So if you're going to use if you're going to use anything other than real dollars, then you are essentially agreeing to have your data shared in a lot of ways. Now, it doesn't mean it's shared for advertising. This is not about advertising. This is about analytics on activity, which is very different.
Craziness. Now, Rob, what do you think of this concept? Well, by the way, this Echelon CEO, he's sticking with his story. He came out, he said, we worked with Amazon. We saw them at a consumer electronics show. They said they were excited about our product. They were asking for a $500 price point. We made it happen. They even agreed to call it Prime Bike. And I don't know where the discrepancy lies, but what do you think of maybe something that could go after something, a company like Peloton and a big giant like Amazon? Now, this thing was $500. A Peloton is, I believe, $2,400 thereabouts. And the difference here, I mean, I don't know I couldn't tell you what the difference in quality of the bike is, but I did notice one of the difference there is there's no display. You'd have to get your own iPad or tablet or something, and then subscribe to some service where people are yelling at you to keep pedaling or something like that. Do you think there could be a Peloton killer out there?
I don't know if there's a Peloton killer. I mean, the Peloton bike, they lowered the price to $18.95 because they introduced a new bike that has a swivel panel and different things on it for $24.95. And Peloton requires a $39 a month subscription to, as you put it, pay people to yell at you in class. The Echelon bike is $4.99, doesn't come with a screen, but it has a holder for a tablet. And most people, you have a tablet, you get a tablet for, I don't know, $100, whatever they are, I don't know. And then you get some service for 90 days, just like with Peloton, and then you go on with a subscription. So It is meant to be a lesser functioning thing, right? It doesn't have all the frills of a Peloton bike, but frankly, if you want to get on and spin and have somebody yell at you in real time, they can make that happen. I said about this story at the beginning, a miscommunication with Amazon, because I think that's what it was. I don't think that, because Echelon is a well-known equipment maker. It's not like they're just some fly-by-night, operation. And so I doubt that the people who run Echelon said, hey, let's see if we can skate this one by. I made that joke, but it's not true, of course. But I don't know where the miscommunication lies. It may very well lie within Amazon, where whoever was doing this didn't run it all the way up the flagpole to get buy-in. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm still struck by the fact that people will pay $2,000 for what is likely to become the world's most expensive clothes hanger in the corner within 6 or 8 months. And so
it never works.
My thought is that by next summer, you're going to be able to find a Peloton bike pretty darn cheap on Craigslist.
Oh, there you go. Rodney, as you're talking about this working at the flagpole, I just imagine Bezos in some dark room or something. He's like, he gets the call, kill it. And then it just gets deleted.
Yep. I'm sure that does happen.
And actually, Amazon stock took a little bit of a hit on all this craziness going on. So it remains to be seen what if Echelon can get their act together, maybe work something else out, or as you say, maybe we just go. You don't have to wait for anyone to kill Peloton. You just check Craigslist for anyone to show up.
Exactly.